So move.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's say the pledge of allegiance. All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Up here, public comments, Ms. Public comment.
Yes, this is Wayne Anderson. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I believe that's Todd. Maybe Jacob. I don't know. I'm having a little trouble with Zoom here, getting in and seeing what's going on. I don't know if you can see me or not, but I had given you some comments, and
Yep.
we can go through those if you want, or you can read them tonight. Tomorrow we go through them later. I'm just here to do what you want to do.
Yeah. We printed those off and, I've read over them quickly. I haven't had time to really study them with the ordinance. We can, what do you think?
Yeah, I looked at your email, Wayne, and I haven't, I was trying to understand, I guess, the one, thing you were talking about are the decibels
Yeah.
and the nearest, like the 1, 3, and 10 turbine. I guess I was confused about that. I was trying to.
Yeah, that's why I'm here tonight, to try to, I don't like typing. It can get really involved. It's much simpler to me to talk. So here's what I can say about that specific topic, and any more that you guys want to go over. Now, dBA is decibels audio. You probably already know that. It's sound pressure level. Okay. And that is done at a certain distance. I didn't really get out of your language what distance that would be, except maybe the nearest one, something like that. That's the first thing. And here's what I was trying to talk to when I said 1, 3, 10. You see, what happens is, I don't know if you remember, but there are with waves, which is sound pressure, which is light and other things. They can add and they can subtract depending on if they are in phase or out of phase. Okay. And so the point behind that trying to put that language in there was, well, and this gets into a lot of details, and I don't know how you really do it. Anyway, you can do one, and that's probably 70% of what the level is. But if you have two of them running, I'm referring to wind generators running, and they're in sync, they can be much louder. And if there are two generators running and they're out of sync, they can be much quieter. So that's what I was trying to say. You might want to put in the language some acknowledgement of that kind of fact. And I was hoping that Invenergy or somebody in the industry could guide you. I know you guys, and I'm not a real expert on that for wind generators, so they might be able to guide you and say, yeah, we think we can do 3 over here. And if it turns out that it's less than 40 in all cases, and what are all cases, then we can accept that. That's all I'm saying. Because you might find one day it sounds like a train roaring by, and another day it sounds quiet as a lamb, So I'm saying.
Yeah, and it definitely depends on, I think, where the direction the wind's blowing, and how close
The orientation of the blades and how.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand.
What we were trying to
Jacob
do.
told me we can't spend the rest of our life doing a science project here. Okay, we have to just move along. So I got it. But just trying to put out a little information that you might want to, it might be that it's not that hard to take a look at that and make a decision on that, that's all.
Okay,
Okay, we can kind of review that, look at that. So we will look at these things and look, compare them to what the ordinance says and think about that. And,
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing is, I'll say in general that all I'm looking at in my mind is getting, and I'm sure if it's in that stuff that I wrote, but just reports, and I saw a lot of them last year. Jacob knows this. I'm up and down from here in Georgia, so I don't see everything in real time, but I do try to go over some stuff. And anyway, so I do see reports. I see they do measure this. I see they do that, and I see a lot of reports. But just make sure that, if you would, make sure that all reports are included, and that we have, meaning the county and me and anybody in the public are transparent to these reports and can have confidence that everything's been done and goes to what levels, whatever we want in the reports. And I as I told Jacob, I'm looking at some other stuff on the roads and I want to briefly talk on that. I don't want to take up your whole meeting, but anyway, just get that out there and make sure we all can see it. And I'm telling you, I think the public will be a lot happier if they can see all that stuff, because there have been times when Invenergy, whatever they're called, seems to be kind of not forthcoming, put it that way. And that gets people uptight. So if we all go to the forthcoming part, I think more people will calm down, okay, and say, okay, now I understand. Okay, that's all I'm getting at with that. And that's a lot of the language that I'm going at. And some of it is also, and that's like, for instance, I'll just say this and shut up. You'll see a big thing about crop dusters. You may have already covered it. I just didn't see language, and it may be in different, you may call it aerial application or some other wording, that I don't kind of catch. But, I think about the broader picture of, these things come in, and crop dusters, I don't know. I haven't really talked to them a lot, but they may have a little bit of issue with these things are tall and clustered, and so that means they can't go in and crop dust. Now,
Yep.
I assume the participating farmers don't care. I just wonder if that also affects the non-participating farmers. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Yep. Good things to
Yep.
think about. So,
yeah, I'll go over what you sent, and like I said, you reached out to us on the phone, and we'll look at these
Okay.
things on board in the next few weeks with.
appreciate you sending emails.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, I'll do that. And again, it may be, you see, the thing is, in my corporate life, everybody thinks they know, and they have in their mind, well, this is what I'm saying, and everybody on the receiving end knows what I'm saying. But it's not necessarily so, right? You have to be very clear on some of
Right.
these things.
Yep.
Interpretation is everything. So that's
Right.
all I'm doing. I'm trying to
Yep.
say, I'm interpreting this as a little bit loose, and if they go this way and that way, you guys can get into trouble. Okay? That's all. That's all. Okay. I'll let you go.
We'll
All right.
study that.
Thank you, Wayne.
Look into it. Thanks for calling in.
Okay. All right.
And hey,
Thank
Wayne,
you.
is your last name Crown?
No,
Oh, okay. Wayne,
it's a long
which-
story behind that. It is, my last name is Anderson.
Wayne
but-
Anderson. Okay. I
Yeah,
just want to
but
make sure.
my email is crownv1 V as in Victor's.
Okay, yep.
Story at
Okay,
AOL.com. And
All right.
please, yeah, use that all day long. I'll respond to that and I'll probably call it because like I said, I don't like typing so much. So
All
anyway,
righty.
but
Thank
what,
you.
I'm pretty mellow and we'll just talk about, trying to clarify some things that you may think this is what I meant. I'm like, no, they may not see it that way. So let's
yeah.
okay.
Well, send us any suggestions. We'll look over those and try to, as we go forward, see what we can do to make it clear as it can be.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Any other public comment?
Jacob,
Yep.
Yep.
Jacob?
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you.
Yeah, Jacob, this is Tom Wagner.
Okay, yeah. Hi, Tom.
Jacob, I sent all the supervisors and the county engineers some photos, but you probably haven't seen them yet. It was within the last half hour.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen those. Have you guys seen them?
I have not.
No, I've not
Okay,
seen.
anyway, I have 3 of them. They were taken on N Avenue. And it was on a portion of N Avenue that 1/2 mile of it is dirt. The other 1/2 mile is granular surfaced. No one lives on that mile. There's not even any power on that mile. The photo was taken yesterday. Why is a motor grader out there blading the road? The photos show the first pass, the material was taken from the west side to the east side. I have a photo there, and I've got samples. I took material from the surface. I took a small bar, and there is a depression. Shows very clear it's dirt. It's black dirt. Then there's a photo. That material was taken over to the east side of the road, and there's a windrow with sod and the coarse material. Why does that happen? Why do we spend time and money blading a road nobody lives on? It's not a through road. And now we have the coarse aggregate over on the edge of the road. If there's snow that is removed from that road, bladed from that roadway, I'll guarantee you, there goes the coarse aggregate. I have repeatedly talked about anytime we manipulate material, we segregate it, and with our soft limestone in this part of the county, we degrade it. And why do we add dirt or fines to our roads that, unless somebody's in denial, they know we have too many fines on our roadways? As I have stated in the past, 2 negatives makes a larger negative. And we have plenty of excess fines, which is a negative to stability, roadway stability. And as our engineer appropriately stated a few meetings back, we had dust and now we have mud. There is one other photo of a vehicle, the wheel well. I have a sample from the wheel well of that material. That material was accumulated from driving 25 miles per hour last Saturday night on a 3/4 mile stretch of 160th Street. I'll guarantee you, I will have a gradation for you and I will send it to all of you. It's nothing but fines. And so I guess in a future meeting, if the county engineer's friend from the quarry at Bradyville would like to meet or come to the meeting, if he accused me of scraping something off the road, this material that I have, I didn't scrape it off the road. I took it from the wheel well of a photo that has been sent to all supervisors, and the county engineer. Those are items that I want to address. I want to address in a public meeting, and with somebody that wants to attack me about scraping something, accusing me, making an allegation I scraped something from the road, I would like to discuss that in a public meeting. And also today, there's another stretch of N Avenue. It happens to be less than a quarter mile that surfaced. The remainder of that mile is dirt. There is one house on that end of the surfacing, and that was bladed today. Why? There's no ruts. Why do we do this? And I have asked in the past, what is the operating cost? What is the depreciation? Operating costs as far as fuel, bits on the moldboard. We can get into the air filters, air conditioning, engine, the engine oil changes, but the depreciation, what is the cost per hour on the county motor graders? And then we can place that with, why are you out there blading roads that do not require it? Thank you.
Tom, what were those pictures of that you sent of the gravel roads again?
Which roads? Yeah.
What road was that
Which roads?
on his
M.
pictures?
That N Avenue in that
N
first
Avenue?
1/2 mile. Yes,
Okay.
N Avenue in the 1/2 mile south of 150th Street.
Okay.
Is that the first one he was talking about?
Correct.
So you're talking about N Avenue the whole time?
No, there's a fourth photo, the wheel well tire of a vehicle, and that material that's attached to that vehicle, and that vehicle was clean. That is on 160th Street. And that was accumulated on 3/4 of a mile with the vehicle traveling at 25 miles per hour. So the tire was not turning at such a high speed to sling a great amount of material up onto the wheel well inner fender structure of that vehicle. And the
the
point I'm
first
making
one-
on that, go ahead.
The first one you were talking about, Tom, was N Avenue south of 150th Street. That was the first
Correct.
one you referred to. Okay.
That is correct.
Well, JD's not here tonight. He's not in the room, so he's out of town, so we can review these things and talk to him if you want to get on the agenda and go over it. Be just fine.
Well,
Look at
and
it.
there again, the reason why I want to, because these are the facts and because of the attacks that have been made against me when I stand right there in person at a supervisor's meeting. And I guess I'll add one more thing. That person that attacked me accused me of scraping it off the roadway, which I said no. That was taken from a 2-inch depth. Well, the material, I've got it. I have samples of it, and I will have that sieve analysis for you. That was not scraped off the road. That was with a chisel taken off what was dried and attached to the wheel well of a vehicle traveling 25 miles per hour. That's how much excess fines are on the roadway. And as far as that individual that attacked me wanted to discredit what I said. He wanted, and he did get everybody to take a tour of the quarry. Well, I guess I have this to say. That's like somebody wanting to sell you a courthouse or your own house and taking you down to the lumber yard and driving you through where the lumber stacked up and telling you how good this thing is going to be. If you're going to take a tour, instead of taking a tour of the quarry, you need to take a tour of the roadways. This is what you received. This is the result. This is what you are using taxpayers' dollars for. And I still go back to even M63. A tour needs to be made of that road, and the facts need to be shown why you have the result that you have. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm good with taking some more road tours too. That'd be good. Go and look at things. See what the end product is. Anything else? Anybody got anything else? If not, JD is out of town, like I said. So we were emailed the engineer his update. Anybody want to add anything from that? Okay. Next up, number 6 on the agenda is, sign the contract with Venture Architect. And I saw the email that Carl looked it over and changed a couple things, and he's good with it. I was good with it. You guys good with it?
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Okay, so
I'll
everybody.
make a motion that we sign that you sign that contract with Venture Architects.
Yep, I would second that.
I got a motion and a second. Said we've already discussed, we've all looked at it, and the attorneys reviewed it, so I guess we'll vote on that, I guess.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Okay, I'll sign that. And the one that he sent today says draft all over it still. I know it's probably up to date, but I don't have the final. If I can sign this, I can also, since it says draft right by where I'm signing, I'm fine with, if they wanna email me the new one tomorrow, I can scan it in and send it back to them on my at home. So it says it's officially done. I imagine they'll email one tomorrow once they receive this information. Is that what you want me to do? Let me tell them I can do that. Send me the final, cause it says draft.
can you go ahead and sign the draft one and then if they need to send another one, they can.
That's the final draft that I have here, so.
I think they wanted it signed online, didn't they?
It's an online signature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have the paper copy. Well, to do the online signature, do I have to sign on the
Yeah.
actual digital form?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to get an email to do that. I'll have to do that at home. I can go on and sign that.
Okay.
So we're all good, made the
Yep.
motion, it's all done?
Yep.
All right, I'll take care of the signing then. Okay, let's see, so that's taken care of number 6. Okay, we've got the wind ordinance, we discussed the email we received, we had phone calls from Wayne, we discussed that. So, let's see.
Yeah, so just to clarify,
The
the
first
20,
reading.
the 28th would be our first reading.
Right,
Would be our first available reading. It did get published
because it was published yesterday.
yesterday in the paper, so yeah, 4 to 20, no later than 20 days.
Yep.
So, so the 28th, our 28th meet, December 28th, that will be the first reading.
Yep, okay, well, we'll do that 28th then. Anything
Can
else
you-
on that?
Can I ask, there was some discussion with, Jacob about cost of reprinting or something on that. I mean, I'm wondering, I'm trying to get your input as quickly as I can. And
But I
then
think,
you
well,
guys consider it, and then where does that go from there? This is what I'm saying.
what I think is gonna happen is, we're gonna start our readings, and we printed it, we're gonna go over it. If there's some things we wanna change, I imagine if this passes here in 3 weeks or whatever it takes, we could go in and just touch little areas if we want, and then we wouldn't have to print the whole thing. I think we could just print the little bit of area we changed, so keep sending any
Yeah.
ideas, we'll look at it.
Okay,
We've just published this and spent months and months and months talking about it, so we'll go into our readings here now. But send the suggestions, we'll look at them, and if we miss something or something needs to be helped, we maybe can,
Yeah, actually,
into that.
I mean, like you say, very minor. I mean, this is baloney, but anyway, I found a couple of things that were misspelled quite. Anyway, I know you have words and all that, but anyway, a couple of things are that minor. I just think your wording is just very. You meant this, but you said that. So anyway, that's an example of very minor stuff that you see in some of my comments. Okay, it's very minor.
We'll send those, and we will, I just went over quickly what you sent today. So we will look over that and see what we can do in the future, but it says we publish this in the newspaper and we will do that first reading of it a week from today. So,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Oh, Jane, has you come up?
Jane Stimson, just a question. Thankfully, I appreciate whoever put the wind ordinance in boxes so we could just click on it and see it. That is clear. So when I click on it, what I see is the old ordinance with some highlights. And those highlights are what are maybe the changes.
Changes, yeah.
There's yellow, green, and blue. Is there any?
I don't know if that's just the different times that came along. I'm not sure why they're different colors.
So when you
Yeah.
do a reading, is it? Are we gonna be able to see?
The final draft.
Yeah,
is,
that's
is what-
what's gonna be in the paper.
And that's what's in the paper.
It was in the paper last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
should be the final.
Is there a way to maybe get some copies, sitting in the,
Oh, yeah, we can print a few out, have
In
sitting
the,
there. I'm gonna have a final one. Everybody can pick one up, and look at it. We'll have a few sitting here.
and what else was I thinking? That'd be a good place.
Or if you can print it, you can also maybe print it at home even too, so.
Oh, yeah, so I punched on the wind ordinance and got it out so I could read it, but I couldn't get it copied off. I couldn't print it. So if it could, I mean, I'd print myself, but
I'll try to look
I
into
wasn't
that.
able to.
Try to look into that. We can
Thank you.
write that down, printable.
So again, excuse me, Swain, I had the same issue. I went to the wind ordinance button on the website there with your supervisor website. And what I found was, again, yellow and blue and green. And I asked in an email, what does this mean? Usually it has some kind of meaning. But anyway, if it's chronological, fine. But I mean, to me, I'm seeing an old copy of it. The final draft, I see a draft. I don't see a final draft. Well, you may call it final draft, but what I'm getting to is, it seems like I'm catching up all the time. I'm catching up. And you guys might get frustrated with me catching up. You know, well, we've already discussed that. We've already, done that. So I don't know what's actually going on. So is the reading off of the final going to be put in the law or what?
Wayne, do you see, I just pulled it up on the website here. There'll be some things crossed out, and then what's
Yeah.
highlighted is the new wording of what was, you can see
Yeah, I
what
saw
was.
that.
you
That
can
I
see the-
understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I got.
Okay, and then if there was nothing crossed out in some sections, there was just some additional words, that's in blue, it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe so, yeah, I can try to print
Yeah,
this.
okay. Yeah, the blue is really hard to read through to get to the black and white. The blue is so hard. But anyway, I got around that. So what else was it? Oh, and so on the road and the decommissioning, there's a lot of blank pages where like you're supposed to add as the guy that's the developer, you're gonna add that to it. So
A lot of those things are done after there's a
Maybe
project.
Carl could just put on the one that he sent to the paper. That might be the best
It'll clean up all that extra stuff, the
Right.
final draft. Yeah, we could sure get that link for what he compressed this the other day, the county attorney. The compressed version we can throw on here too, so I can, if we can
Yeah.
get that email, that'll help.
If you would, I mean, there'd be tons of people who don't care, but I mean, it's blank page. I'm like, what does this mean? I mean, I don't have any information, so I'd like to
Some of
look.
those things, I think get filled in after there'd be a project that's progressing. They have to, that you can't fill it in before you know what it is.
I
I
think you could
understand it.
put-
I understand
you
that
put
completely.
down-
I understand. You don't know what you're getting into until you dig up a hole, right? I got you. But there has
You
to be
put that
some
on before
concern
12.
about, we both have
Aggressive.
to understand, we both have a responsibility for that hole, you know?
Yep.
We don't know, but we both have to talk about how we're gonna handle it. Just
We take it serious, so we're open to ideas and we've been
Okay.
working on it a while, but well, I'll try to get that compressed version that's been made now with the extra, it's compressed to the final draft. That should, it was done a few days ago. We'll try to maybe send that, put that on there so it's a little clearer to print, maybe, it makes more sense.
Okay,
I'll
I
work on-
appreciate your efforts. I really do.
Okay. See if I can. All right, make me a note here. Okay. All right, what we got here, if we're done with the wind ordinance discussion, board communication. I went up to, Juvenile Intention meeting yesterday and Steve Byer from, Cass County was talking about doing a meeting with all the Southwest Iowa supervisors, maybe the 10th of December at 6 p.m. He's gonna send an email out to everybody.
The January.
January, I meant to say January, sorry. It's December, I meant to say January, but he was talking about, kind of like what we did the other day. He's got some issues that affect Southwest Corner and he wants to see if people want to come together and some legislators and talk again. So he's putting this together in Griswold roughly on the 10th of January at 6 p.m.
At
So you'll
night,
get
you
an email.
said?
What's that?
You said at night?
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Griswold?
6 p.m. So he'll be sending out emails. I just made a note of that to
Okay.
let you guys know he's looking into, working on putting a thing together.
Okay.
And, that's what I had. The juvenile attention meeting was a good meeting. Went well. We have new directors doing a fine job.
I have a Board of Health meeting tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else?
Tomorrow?
Yeah. It was gonna be yesterday, but nobody could get together.
Okay. So is it at night?
I don't believe so. I think it's like noon or 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta go back and look.
Okay. Are we good on communication?
Yep.
Okay, if we're done with that, next up, we have claims. We pass those around, look those over.
Make a motion that we approve claims.
Okay,
I'll second that.
a motion and a second to approve the claims. A vote on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Bill played. Okay, got the meeting minutes, number 10. Let's see, where's my papers?
Yeah, I passed out some amended minutes that I did. The things that I, just to let everybody know, the thing that I crossed out was, one was the discussion part of, Holmes will sign the contract when it is completed, cross that out. And that was really the only thing on that first page. And then the other thing I added was that Jacob did go and attend the District 4 supervisor meeting. So he was a part of that. So I added that. And then I believe I marked off that there was discussion on who would attend the bond meeting for the jail. And I crossed off that paragraph of discussion that we had. And then also, we talked about, it said Mayor passed out his rewritten minutes, which we talked about not putting that in there. And then, even says he would like it to say amended minutes and would like the supervisors to discuss the crossed out parts. So, I scratched that out. Other than that, I thought it looked, fairly good.
Yep.
So,
I'll make a motion to pass the minutes as amended as you to meet Iowa Public Information Board guidelines, and as you stated.
I'll second.
Okay? Hold on now.
Yes.
No,
Yes. Okay,
I move we adjourn.
all right, got a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Click on that. Second, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming.